بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so based on this conversation and a quick review, let's look at this one verse which I used earlier in my explanation of the status. وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودُ جَالُوتَ. Yes. Now, what is the translation? And killed Dawood Jalut. Now, who is the doer of the killing?
Daud.
Dawood. And Jalut is the one who's getting killed. Yes.
Yes, so he is the object.
He's the object. So now how do I know this? I know that Dawood has the Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Yes. And this is what Brother Abdul was saying earlier, that why Muhammadun has the Dhammatan and here Dawood has only one Dhamma. And that has to do with flexibility of the noun, which is an advanced topic. And I don't want to confuse you because I'm just taking you bits by bits to a point where you can understand smaller things, and then we will put them into a bigger picture, and then you'll start to see the big picture. We are in the very, very introductory course, right? So over here, if you say Dawuda Jalutu, what will happen?
Meaning will be exactly reversed.
You are saying that Jalut killed Dawud.
Yeah.
You switch it, right?
You're switching it. Okay, so this is the importance of the status in a sentence. Why am I showing you this ayah? I'm showing you that if, according to the Quran, if you read it like this, وَقَتَلَ دَاوُودَ جَالُوتُ, then you made a big mistake. Agree? Right? Because Jaluta is nasab, is the object. Daudu is Rafa, is the subject. Agree? How many people understand this concept?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So that is exactly what I'm trying to point out right now, that first of all, how do we find out the status? And then to some degree, I'm telling you the function of it, okay? Now, I'm dealing with another book and I'm going to show you some sentences. And all I want you to do, focus, is on the learning you have done and not worry about the rest of the sentence, okay? So in here, look at this is Alif Ba Ta or Alif Ba Jim. There is a sentence on the top row, then there are 3 sentences on the bottom row, and then 3 more sentences on the third row. Now look at Allah. Is Allah a noun?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is Allah Wahid?
Yes.
Yes.
Is Allah has the Al in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you see a Dhamma on the last letter?
Yes.
Yes.
So what is the status of Allah?
Subject.
No, don't say subject, say Rafa.
Rafa.
Yes. Okay, look at Khaliku. Is Khaliku a noun?
Yes.
A
Yes.
creator. Yes. Is it Khaliq Wahid?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as I determine the number of the noun, is it easy for me to find the status based on my rule? Look at the last letter. Is it a Dhamma on there?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know this Khaliku is also
Rafa.
Rafa. Okay. Now look at the At-Talibu Mujtahidun. Okay. Now, so far, what is the symbols I have told you about a noun? If there is a al, I know it's a noun.
Proper noun.
If I see a tanween, I know it's a noun. Yes. Al-Talibu, is it a singular?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it proper?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And is it wahid?
Yes.
Al-Talibu, is it rafa or nasab or jar?
Rafa.
Rafa. So at this point, if you can just give me this much information, just by looking at the noun, whether it's the rafa, nasab or jar, I am super happy. Whether you know other things or not, I'm not too concerned at the moment. As soon as I say at-talibu, you know in your mind it is rafa. And what are the criteria to get there? It is a noun. It is wahid. These are the 2 main criteria to tell you that it is rafa. Why? Because there is a dhamma on the last letter. Agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mujtahidun, meaning a hardworking. A hardworking student. Mujtahidun. Is it singular?
Yes.
It's wahid. The last letter has the dhammatan.
Yes.
Yes. So that means it is a common noun, not a proper noun. Agree?
Yes.
Okay. So is it rafa?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Rafa, very good. That's all I want to know. Al-kitabu, Rafa.
Yes.
Okay, what is the criteria? Wahid
Wahid.
and the last letter, Dhamma. Rafa. Agree? Is mufidun noun?
Yes.
Noun.
Okay,
Yes.
is it Rafa?
Rafa.
Yes.
Nabatan.
That's all I care about. Yeah? Yeah? Look at this. Ebudullaha. Is Allah in the second row has the fatha or dhamma or kasra?
Fatah.
So Allah here is nasab or jar
Nasab.
or rafa?
Nasab.
Nasab. Got it? That is all I'm trying to figure out right now. Okay. In the next word, kabaltu taliba.
Qabaltu taliba.
Kabaltu taliba. Right? Is taliba at-taliba is the last, is it wahid at-talib?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the last letter has the fatha?
Yes.
So it is nasab.
Nasab.
Okay. Qara'tul kitaba. I read the book. Yes. Is al-kitaba rafa, nasab or jar?
Rafa.
Nasab. Right? Nasab?
Nasab.
Yeah.
Nasab. Yeah.
Nasab because of the letter ba has the fatha on it.
Fatah.
Oh, okay. Why there is only one fatha? Can somebody explain to me?
Because there's alif is there.
Al-Kitab.
There is al
Because
there.
there's al.
MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Okay, now let's look at the third row. Ilallahil masiru. Okay, look at the Allah. Look at the Allah in the first sentence. Allahu.
Kasra.
Number 2, Allah. Number 3, Allah. Ilallahi. Allahi. Look at the number 3. Ilallahil masir. So Allah here in the third row, is it nasab, jar, or rafa?
Jar.
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 Majroor.
Allah is wahid.
Yes.
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 Okay, is Allah has al in it?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
There
Yes.
is only single
Yes.
Yes.
kasra. Yes. Okay. Look at the talibu in the third row. At-talibi. Is at-talibi nasab, rafa, or jar?
Jar.
Jar. Why?
Because ila
Because
Kasra.
it
talibi.
has a kasra. At the end.
Okay, good.
Kasra.
Now look in the third row. Al-kitabu, on the top one, al-kitabu, al-kitaba, al-kitabi. What is the third row means? Is it what status of
Jar.
kitab?
Jar.
Jar.
You guys now clear about that how you can determine the status?
Yes.
Simple
Sure.
step. Look at the number of the noun, and then let's look at the last letter. Dhamma will give me rafa, nasab, fatha will give me nasab, and kasra will give me jar. Okay. Now, quickly, and this is the same example I have been giving you all over again. So let's look at some of the more, like some of the sentences here, which are even more complex. Okay. All they're saying is, look at the sentence, look at the underlined word, and tell me whether it's rafa, nasab, or jar. Yeah. Okay. So in the first sentence is an example, which is a solution already. So Allahu latifun bi ibadi. Now, if I look at Allah, is it rafa?
Yes.
Yes.
Latifun rafa?
Rapa.
Yes.
Okay. Bi ibadihi, we are not worried about that at the moment because we're looking at singular wahid nouns. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Look at the second sentence. Yawma tubaddalul ardu ghayral ardi. Now, underline ardu. Is ardu rafa, nasab, or jar?
Rafa.
Rapa.
Rafa. Why?
Because of the Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Okay, before you say
Al-
dhamma, is
Al.
ardu singular?
Yes.
Okay, remember the application of the rule. When I ask you about a noun, your mind should go first whether it is number is wahid or jama mukassar, because that is what we are learning right now. Exactly. Is ardu singular here?
Yes.
Okay, so al ardu underline is rafa. Very good. But in the same sentence, there is ghayr al ardi. Who can tell me what is the status of al ardi?
Jar.
It's
Jar.
Rafa. Jara.
Jar, right? One second, guys. Okay. Let's look at the number 3. Okay. Now this time I'm going to ask somebody and you have to answer the question. Inna Allah. Brother Asim, what is Inna Allah? What is the status of Allah?
Allah is Rafa.
Okay.
No.
Apply the rule. Just back off. Get your mind clear. Allah is singular.
Yes, Allah is singular.
Okay. In that case, where are you going to look at? Last letter. Yes.
Yes, the last
And
letter.
what haraka are you going to look for?
Oh, it's the fatha, so that means it's nasab.
Nasab. You see, the
Yes,
moment you
yes,
apply
yes,
the
yes.
rule, you
Yes,
corrected
yes,
yourself. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sister Homa, shay'in.
Mhm.
What is the last letter?
It's Hamza, and
What are the haraka?
it has kasra, so it is jar.
Yeah. You see, I said we are like playing a game. In a game, you know the rules. As soon as you know the rules, you apply the rules and you can win the game or you can play the game. Correct? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Al Jannatu, Sister Farina. Since you said yes, you got it. Al Jannata. Okay. I'm only worried about Al Jannata. Okay?
Where is that one?
Number 4, right here. Al Jannata. This one. This word I'm looking for.
Mhm.
What is the status of Al Jannata? First of all, is it male
Nasab.
or female? Oh, mashallah, you got the status. Nasab, very good. That's correct.
Mhm.
But is it male or female?
Al Jannata.
Yeah,
Jannata is female.
very good. Now, is it proper or common?
Al Jannata is
There is a Al there, right? Is it
proper.
proper. Now, also, is it singular or plural? Al Jannah, right?
Yeah, Al Jannata is single.
Single. Very good. So, as soon as you saw the single, what is the last letter?
The last letter is Fatah.
Okay. I mean, last letter was Ta, and the
Oh, Ta,
haraka
yeah.
on the letter is Fatha, and that gives you Nasab. Okay, good.
Okay.
Brother Shaukat, in number 5, Ilallahi. What is the status of Allah here? Brother Shaukat? Okay, Sister Unaiza, what is the status of Allah here?
Jar.
Jar. How do you know?
Because of kasra there.
Kasra there. And also, but also remember, you always have to tell me the number, because this kasra will confuse you if you go to Musanna and other Jama Salim Mudakkar and Jama Salim
Yes.
Muannas. So you have to make sure you're telling me that because there is a kasra and it's a wahid, that is only reason I'm telling you it is a jar. Agree?
Yes. Agree.
Okay. Okay, good. Sister Jahan, al-maghfirati, wal-maghfirati.
Okay, so that is singular,
Singular, very good.
and
Yeah.
it's jar, and it's a
Jar.
female. Yeah, and it's a female.
Female, mashallah, very good. You got it. Okay. Brother Mansoor, al-insanu.
Rafa.
Very good job. Okay, Brother Javed, as-salami. Okay, anybody else?
As-salami is jar. It's the jar.
Jar. Okay, good.
And
Now,
it's a
yes.
alif lam is a
Proper. Okay.
proper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good job. Now, Brother Tazuddin Sharif, kuffarun.
Kufarun is singular.
Okay. Is kuffarun
In,
singular? Think about it again.
Good. Oh, sure. Sure. I think it's plural.
It is plural. What kind of plural?
Jama
is it?
mukassar.
Jama
Jama
mukassar. And what is the rule with Jama mukassar? Where do you have to look?
Yeah, it's same as the singular. If it should be run like Dhamma or Dhammatain.
So what is the name? Is it Rafa, Nasab or Jar?
Rafa.
Very good job. Okay, while you're there, what is al-insana here? Is it rafa, nasab, or jar?
Al-insana is nasab and singular.
Very good job, mashallah. You are
Male.
picking up the concept, mashallah. Jazakallah. I'm very happy. Brother Kazim, I think you are back in the list now. Al-ma'i. What is al-ma'i?
Al-ma'i is jar.
Very good. Brother Taj, what is salamun?
Salamun is rafa, single.
Very good job. Okay, what about salaman here? What is this?
Salaman is nasab.
Nasab. You see how when you want to change the role of salam, it went from rafa to nasab here.
Nasab.
Yeah? Okay, brother Asim, walada. What is walada?
Sorry, brother. Just had a little emergency here.
Oh, no worries. Don't worry. You go take care of that. Sister Amirun Nisa, what is walada, please?
Nasab.
Okay, looks like she's away. Brother Imran, what is walada? What is the status?
Walada is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Sister Amirun Nisa. Go ahead.
It's nasab.
Nasab, mashallah. How do you know?
We see patatan on the.
Okay, but then there is an extra alif there. What information that gives you about the gender?
It's masculine.
Masculine, mashallah. Do you guys see why I asked these specific questions? Because this is what we have been learning all along. Yes. So that kind of reinforces our learning. So brother Wasim, over here in number 15, al-ma'u. What is the status of al-ma'u?
It's rafa.
Very good. So what is the status of amrin?
Jar.
Very good. And what about here? Ma'an.
Ma'an is nasab.
Yeah. Now you guys see how in different sentences, these statuses gives a different role to that word, that noun. Are you with me so far, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So I think with this introductory lesson, at least the wahid and jama mukassar is out of the way. I hope. Yeah. Your understanding is pretty good now. Understanding is good about the status. Alhamdulillah. Very good job. So let's go back to Brother Ijaz or somebody is very there is a lot of noise in there. So can you please mute yourself? Okay, good. Okay, so inshallah we are only 20 minutes away from our class end time. So today I think I'm not going to go on the Arabic conversation, but I want to jump and spend more time on the Quranic studies. Okay, so before I do that, can somebody quickly, maybe a few people, so the concept we learned today, between 1 and 5, what is the number of your understanding? And some people answer me or
9.
9. Oh, mashallah, who said 9?
Homa.
Mr. Homa? Okay, very good. Excellent. Okay, what else? Anything above 5 will make me happy. So how many people think that above 5?
15.
7? 15?
No, I said, you said anything above 5 will make you happy, right? So the sky is the limit.
9.
Okay, anything above 5 and under 10 will be happy. Okay, so 1 to 10, who can tell me you're feeling above 5 at least today?
Yeah, above 5. Yes, for
Yeah,
sure,
above 5.
definitely.
Okay, good, mashallah. But I think most of you are around 8 or 9, okay?
Yes.
In my mind,
9.
Inshallah.
inshallah, because I feel that you guys must be at 8 or 9. Sister Uneza, am I correct?
Yes, definitely.
Alhamdulillah. Brother Naseeb, you second me on that?
100%. I think, brother Abid,
Yes.
I think you should put the poll on next time. It will be really interesting.
Okay. All right. Inshallah. That's fine. Okay. So today's verses I took from Surah Ar-Ra'd, the thunder. Now, you might think that I might have repeated this in the past, But remember the hadith or the message from the Quran that the reminder is beneficial for the moment. Yeah. So even if we read the same verses again and again, and with the understanding of the Arabic language, these verses will even make more sense. They will even connect with you more. Also, if you go back and take all the verses from the day one I have been sharing with you, you will find a theme that I'm trying us to benefit from the Quran so that our personality, our iman, and our haqukul libad, our characteristics grows in the light of the directions from directly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Quran, so that we become better and better Muslims. Do you guys agree with me on that? That these verses do tickle our iman and we get better, at least because now we are more aware of certain things. Okay. So in these verses also, and I intend to go on the tafsir a little bit. So inshallah, you will find these verses are also extremely going to help in building our character. So alladhina, a'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alladhina, those who yufuna, fulfill, bi ahdillahi, the covenant of Allah, wala yankudun al-misaqa, and they do not break the contract. Okay. So those who fulfill the covenant of Allah. What is the covenant of Allah? The moment you say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, that is your verbal contract. But that encompasses everything which the Quran and Sharia asks you to do and stay away from, which is haram and not to do. That is, in a nutshell, the covenant with Allah, that I will do everything you have told me through your book and your messenger, the Sharia of the Islam. I will follow all the do's and I will stay away from all the don'ts. So far, so good. Simple as that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if we look at some of the concepts we have learned today, Allah, He is jar. Yes?
Yeah.
Al-Misaka is nasab. Why I'm not worrying about yankuduna and yufuna? Because these are not nouns. Follow? These are not nouns. Is the status applies to a noun?
Yes.
Okay. So that is why I'm not telling you what is yankuduna mean, even though there is a fatha here and there is a fatha here. I'm not going to confuse you with that. So Allahi, the covenant of Allah. So the moment you see the of, there is a possession. Allah is the possessor of this covenant. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, good job. So those who fulfill the covenant of Allah and do not break the contract. Now, even in this dunya, is it a good gesture, or as a gentleman, as a professional, do you like to break your contracts?
No.
No, because even in this dunya, if you do that, you will be considered a bad person or a person nobody will like to deal with in the long run. Yeah. So these are the people who fulfill the covenant of Allah and they do not break the contract. And what else they don't do? Walladhina, and those who yasiluna, join, ma amarallahu, has been commanded by Allah, bihi, for it, ayyu sala, وَيَخْشَوْنَ رَبَّهُمْ وَيَخَافُونَ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ, to be joined and fear their Lord and are afraid of the evil account. Over here, what does this mean? And this, the tafsir will help. Over here, this has to do with the relationships we have. And the relationships we have are with who? Our kinship, our relatives, the brother, sister, mother, father, husband, wife, and our community relationships. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that whoever, follow these relationships, they are the one who fear their Lord, and they are the one who are afraid of a bad hisab. Bad hisab mean account. So let's quickly read these four verses, and then we'll go into the tafsir. So, okay, maybe I can go there instead of me explaining like this. Okay, so in these verses, what are we looking at are the qualities of the blessed ones. Would you like to be the blessed ones, guys and sisters?
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so Allahumma
Inshallah.
Rabbana jalna minhum. This dua means, Ya Allah, make us among those, which will be led to paradise. So these
Paradise.
blessed ones will be the one which will be led to paradise. So Allah states that those who have these good qualities will earn the good, the final home, victory, and triumph in this life and the hereafter. Is that a good recipe for success?
Yes.
So what do we have to do? That we follow the covenant we have done with Allah, we fulfill it, and we do not break the contract. That's the number one. So those who fulfill the covenant with Allah and break not the trust, they are nothing like the hypocrites. Do we want to be hypocrites?
No.
No.
Okay. What were the hypocrites used to do? Who, when one of them makes a covenant, he breaks it. He makes a promise, he breaks it. If he disputes, when he fights, he is the most quarrelsome. He uses all kind of bad language. If he speaks, he lies. And if he is entrusted with something, he betrays the trust. Do we want any of these qualities in us?
No.
No. So, Ya Allah, do not make among the hypocrites. Instead, make us among those blessed ones, which you will lead to paradise. And those who join that which Allah has commanded to be joined, they are good to their relatives, and they do not sever the bond of kinship. They're also kind to the poor and the needy, and are generous in nature. Do we have these qualities? Are we in good relations with our relatives?
Yeah.
Are we unhappy with somebody? Are we not talking to somebody in our relationships, close ones or far ones? Or are we so upset with somebody that we tell them that you are no longer my brother or sister? Okay. Are we also kind to the poor?
Yeah.
And are we generous in nature? If we are not, then should we develop these qualities because we want to be the blessed ones?
Blessed ones.
Why? Because we want to end up here. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, are we lucky that we are still alive?
Yes.
Yes.
So, do you think if some of this message where I'm falling short, do I still have time to fix it?
Yes.
Now, should I wait on it, or should I let it go and say I'll do it tomorrow, or should I fix it myself today?
Tomorrow
Now, what is the one best thing you can do? You do yourself a favor and fix everything.
Yes.
You fix everything by making tawbah.
Yeah.
Why? Because when you make tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives all sins.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
And the good news for the Muslims, that the door of tawbah is open till the day when the sun will rise from the west. Okay.
West.
Also, this is your jugular vein, right? This is your apple, Adam, or what do you call that? Adam's apple, right?
Yeah.
So as long as your ruh does not get here to get out of your body, you still have the chance to make tawbah. Okay. And look at the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful that not only he forgives, what he does on top of that, he converts all the sins into good deeds. How lucky we are. So the moment you say tawbah and you are sincere in your tawbah and you are ashamed, or you're feeling, you're repenting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I forgive all your sins. Yeah. And not only that, I will convert all your sins into good deeds. Why? Because I am the forgiver of all sins. Yeah. So this one area, how many of us may have some difficulty here? Okay. So we need to make sure that we fix our relations. Yeah. And they fear their Lord in what they do or do not do of actions and statements. Actions and statements. Do we ponder on these things? Not only actions and what we say. They remember that Allah is watching during all of this and are afraid of his terrifying reckoning in the hereafter. Therefore, all their affairs are on the straight path and correct, whether they are active or idle, and all in their affairs, including those affect others. Now, most of our affairs, do we harm other people more than we harm our own self?
Yeah.
Sometime, yes, we do harm. Can we harm people with only hands? Or can we also harm them with our attitude, with our sentence, with our body language? Can we also do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And look at the next quality of these blessed ones. وَالَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا وَابْتِغَاءِ وَجْهِ رَبِّهِمْ. And those who remain patient, seeking their Lord's face. They observe patience while staying away from sins and evil deeds, doing so while dedicating themselves to the service of their Lord, the exalted and the most honored, and seeking his pleasure and generous reward. Are we feeling happy? Are we feeling motivated to follow these advice?
Yes.
Yes. Wallazina sabaru. What is sabaru? Are patient.
Patient.
And those who are patient, when in patient in ibtigha'a wajhi rabbihim, seeking the face of their Lord. What is the meaning of seeking the face of their Lord? Seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometime when you are doing something, what is behind the scene? What is your motivation? When you're giving charity to somebody, when you're forgiving somebody, when you're doing a good job. Why? Because you want, in the back of your mind, you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be happy with you. Yeah. And then what else they do? They are, first of all, they're patient. And then wa aqamus salata. Who remember the last verse? Laysal birra an tawallu wajuhakum qibla al-mashriqi wal maghrib. Remember that part? The long. Yes. So over there was also aqamus salah and atu zakah. So what else? How would you get the sabr? How does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that how can you find sabr? By establishing the salah. Yeah. Wa anfaqu mimma razaqnahum sirran wa alaniya. Sirran is secretly, alaniya mean publicly. And what they do, they establish the prayer and spend from what we have provided them secretly and publicly. وَيَدْرَؤُونَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ حَسَنَةِ السَّيِّئَةَ. And they repel the evil with the good. Yes?
Yeah.
Do we try to repel the evil with the good?
Yeah.
Look what happened to them. Ulaika lahum, for them is the uqbad dar, is the final attainment of the home. What is this uqbad dar here?
Jannatul Firdaus.
The Yawm al-Qiyamah and the Jannah, right? Because what are we looking for? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessing these people with what? Jannah. Okay. So they perform the salah, preserving its limits. That how it's supposed to be prayed. And the times, praying on the right time. And they're doing the ruku properly. And the prostration, the sujood properly. And in the salah, they are humble. According to the established limits and ruling of the religion. What does that mean? So sometimes you say, oh, I feel so religious today. I am going to pray 5 rakah for salah. And someday you say, oh, I'm rushing. I'm only going to pray 1 rakah. Are you allowed to do that?
No.
No. You are supposed to do that according to the established limits and the rulings, the Sharia of the religion. وَأَنْفِقُوا مِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ. And spend out of that which we have bestowed on them. The money we have, is it ours or is it given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala?
Given to us by Allah.
Right. So then it is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allows us to spend. Otherwise, does anybody wants to give their money away?
No.
No. So they spend on those whom they are obliged to spend on them. Like who are we obliged to spend on? Like our spouses, our relatives, and the poor and the needy in general. Now, in the last session, if you still remember, what was the list of people they were supposed to spend your mal? Dawil kurba, wal yatama, wal masakini, wa ibn sabili, wal sa'ilina, wa fir riqab. You see, there was a long list starting from Zawil Kurba, from the relatives. Now, when you put the food on the table for your children and your wife or husband or your parents, that is your fard. While you give the money of or give a food to the person who's sitting on the street, that is a sunnah, nafal. Yeah.
Sadaqah.
So what is you're obliged to do first? You help out the people you are supposed to. Okay. Sirran wa ilaniya. Yes. Okay. Now, what is the status of sirran here?
Nasab.
Nasb.
Alaniya tha?
Nasab.
MashaAllah. Okay, good. And then what they do? And they repel evil with good. They resist evil with good conduct. Good conduct. Okay. So this is one area where we need improvement. When the people harm them, they face their harm with good patience, forbearing, forgiveness, and pardon. Allah said in another ayah, what is He said? And this is the ayah we learned in a few sessions back. Remember, Brother Asim, I specifically spoke to you about this, that when you repel the evil with good, the worst enemy of yours will become your best friend. But this is not easy. This is only going to be done with a person who is patient and who has this lot of iman and faith in them. So repel the evil with one which is better. Then verily he between whom and you there was enmity will become as though he was a close friend. But none is granted it except those who are patient, and none is granted it except the owner of the great portion in this word. This is the hikmah and wisdom and the iman from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only those people with a lot of good character, with a huge character like our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was able to forgive his worst enemies. And he never took revenge from anybody for personal reasons. When he came to religion, he only retaliated in the right manner. So this is why Allah states here that those who have these good qualities, the blessed ones, will earn the final home. And he explained next, Jannati Adn. Over here, look at this. When you have these properties or qualities, what will we get? Jannatu Adnin, gardens of Eden. Yadkhulunaha, they will enter them. Wa man salaha, and whoever were righteous, min abaihim, among their fathers, wa azwajihim, and their spouses, wa durriyatihim, and their offspring. So not only we will enter alone in these jannats, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will include whoever was righteous among our families, including our fathers, our wives, and our children, our progeny. Wa malaikatu yadkhuluna alayhim min kulli bab, and the angels will enter upon them from every gate. Do we want to be among this group, guys?
Yes.
Brothers and sisters.
Inshallah.
So,
Inshallah.
not only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting us and enticing us, did He not give us the recipe for how to be among this group?
Yes.
Okay. So if we look around ourselves, look at our extended families, can be by fixing our relationships with our own family to begin with. We have to fix our relationship with everybody. But top priority is with who? Our own family. The people we are angry with, the people we said we are no longer your relative, or I don't want to talk to you, I can't even look at your face, I can't even stand you. And if it's between husband and wife, that's even more dangerous, because that affects the institution of the home where the children get affected. So inshallah, with this recipe given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, we should follow and improve ourselves. And these are little things we can do. Like, right, for example, in improving our salah, and then improving our charity. And when something happens, try to be a little bit extra patient and try to repel the evil with the good. Yes. And then what else Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying? Salamun alaikum. When you meet somebody, what do you say? Salamun alaikum. Right? Peace be upon you. Right? Now, who's saying that to you? All these angels who will be saying this to us? all the angels who will come from all the doors of Jannah. And then I'm going to say, Salamun alaykum bima sabartum. Peace be upon you for what you patiently endured. Do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us in this dunya also, but don't you think that the real reward will come to you in the Jannah, in the Akhirah?
Yeah.
And what will that reward be for? For all the patience you exercised in this dunya. Patience of three kind. Okay. One kind of patience is when you have to do all the do's. All the things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do, you do that. For example, you pray, you give zakah, you fast, and you go for Hajj, and you give charity. Do you need patience to do all these things?
Yeah.
Yes. So that is one kind of patience. You have to patient, I have to pray 5 times. Whether you like it or not, whether you're busy or not, whether you're healthy or not, you're supposed to pray. So you need a lot of patience for that. And to stay away from the haram. Do you need patience for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the second kind of patience. So the patience to do the right things or the halal, and patience to stay away from the haram. Also, you do patience when some musibah, some affliction affects you. Yes?
Yeah.
And for them is the excellent final attainment. What is the final statement and what is the best?
Jannah.
Which statement is which house is the best? The house of Allah. The Jannah, inshallah. Allahumma Rabbana ja'alna minhum. Allahumma inni. If we can make this dua together. Say Allahumma inni.
Allahumma inni
As'alukal Jannatal Firdausil A'la.
Jannatul Firdaus Ala.
Jannatul Firdausil A'la.
Rabbana as'alukal jannatal firdaus.
No, 1 second.
Allahumma inni as'aluka al-jannah wa a'udhu bika min an-nar.
No. I want to already say that. Okay. Allahumma inni as'alukal Jannatal Firdausil A'la bighayri hisab. Bighayri
Hisab.
bighayri hisab.
Wa sakata bin-nar.
Wa kina azabun nar. Wa kina azabun nar. Ya Azizu Ya Ghaffar. Sorry, I lost the track of my thought. Okay. Allahumma inni. Sorry. Go ahead. I'm repeating now. Allahumma inni as'aluka Jannatul Firdausul A'la bighayri hisab. Wa qina azaban nar. Ya Azizu Ya Ghaffar. So we're saying, Ya Allah, enter us in the Jannatul Firdausul A'la, the highest and the Firdaus. Bighayri hisab, without any accounting. Wa qina azaban nar, and protect us from the azabun nar, the hellfire. Why? Intal Azizul Ghaffar. Ya Azizu Ya Ghaffar. You are the mighty and you are the most forgiving. So can we make this dua, inshallah, part of our daily life?
Inshallah.
Okay, so
Brother Robert, can you share that dua, please, if we have it?
inshallah, I'll share with you. Okay, so again, please, this tafsir, the reason I do this, if you guys also start to do this on your daily recitation, it doesn't take more than 5-10 minutes, because I am doing it for a group. So it's taking long because I'm trying to also explain and trying to, try to slow down and try to dissect it. But if you do this alone, it will not take you more than 5-10 minutes. And you don't have to worry about a whole page, maybe a few things. Okay. Now, since I'm running out of time, I have to cut down this. But the next verses are for the people who are the opposite. So see, this is the theme of the Quran. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he talks about the people of Jannah or the good people, then in the next section, he talks about the bad people and the punishment. So if you on your own time can read these ones, that look at this, وَالَّذِينَ يَنْكُدُونَ, but those who break the covenant of Allah from after they make it, and they don't deal with their relatives the way they were commanded, then for them is the curse and for them is the evil abode. You see that? For the good people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave like 4 or 5 ayahs, and in one ayah here, he's talking about the opposite. That the people who do the opposite, for them is curse, lana, and for them is the evil abode. What is the evil abode? According to that will be the hellfire, Jahannam. So inshallah, with this, I hope I pray that anything correct I said is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything wrong I said is purely my fault. And Jazakallah khairan for joining the class. I hope you benefited and you learned a lot.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you
And
so much,
please-
brother Abid.
Please do the review. Keep me in your prayers. I will be updating.
Inshallah. Amin.
I'll be updating the section, the new material sometime by the end of the day today. Jazakallah khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Salam.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.